Hey guys, Dale from Lux BMX back again with another product video for you. Today we're going to be looking at seats and everything you need to know when selecting a new seat for your bike. So there's a couple of different varieties and I'm going to start with the more common ones and we'll work our way through to the not so common. First and foremost, probably the most common seat on the market at the moment is going to be a pivotal seat. The way to define a pivotal is it has a slit in the top, which is where you insert your Allen key to be able to use the bolt that attaches it to the seat post. They have a little section on the bottom that is generally rounded, has different teeth on it. This is used to set the angle. You loosen it off to a certain point, you can then shift the seat up or down, bearing in mind you are limited by the shape of this as to how far it will go, as well as the seat post will limit you too. Basically how it works, put your Allen key in the top, tighten your bolt down, and then that's going to engage these teeth into the corresponding teeth in your seat post. It'll look something like that. Obviously, it's going to be different from person to person. Some people like a lot of angle, some people like the seat really flat. It really depends on what your preference is. Moving on to the next one, we have the newer style of pivotal, which is called a stealth pivotal. Effectively, it's identical to the pivotal seat post in almost every way. Main difference being that there is no longer a slit on the top of the seat. So you can't insert your Allen key through the top. How are we going to attach it to the seat? These have an Allen key in the bottom of the bolt, which attaches the seat to the seat post. This corresponds with the pivotal stealth post. So the way to define this between a standard pivotal post and a stealth one is it has the extra little hole here, which is threaded. How this works is rather than inserting your Allen key from the top, you insert your Allen key from the bottom, it slots into your screw and you'll thread it on like that. Basically the same principle, but what it does is it leaves no holes on the top of your seat, means that you're probably going to have a little bit more longevity out of it as there's less pieces, say stitching and that sort of thing, that accidentally let your bike go. It's not going to catch on anything and tear holes in your seat. Next, we'll move on to the tripod. Looks really similar to the stealth pivotal until we do this. Once you turn it upside down, the way that these seat posts work is a little bit different. So it has two prongs on the back and a hole at the front. Also, unlike the pivotal seat post, you don't have as much range of motion. So there's this little black piece here that is attached to the seat post. It is your adjustment of angle. That wedge, whether you put it in against the seat surface itself or on the bottom of the seat post, will actually dictate how much angle you have. Not as much as a pivotal will have. It's still enough to get your seat sorted as far as the angle that you personally like to run, or close enough to. So again, your two prongs go into the two looped sections at the bottom. The top section will sit in depending on where you put your spacer, and then you just run a bolt through that and that holds everything together. Next, we'll look at something a little bit more old school. There are more modern style of seats that will still use this method as well. This is just what I have for you today. This is a railed seat post. Some of you old school guys out there, this is all you know. Some of the younger guys, you probably may not have seen one of these on something like a BMX bike, maybe a mountain bike. It works on a similar principle. There's two pieces of plate that will actually clamp around these rails. That's what holds it together. It will also have something similar to the pivotal post in that it has its little teeth. This allows you to adjust the angle. I'd have to loosen this off to be able to show you, but basically it's the same principle. They also will give you a second plate a lot of the time, which will have the teeth in a slightly different orientation, which means that if you can't get the angle with this bottom plate, then you swap to the other one and you should be able to find the angle that you're looking for. Lastly, it's all in one. So this is called a combo seat. This is where your seat is actually attached to your seat post. So you don't get to adjust the angle on these. They are set to a specific angle, and then this is related to the angle of your seat post on your frame as to which way it's going to go. If you have a really slack seat angle, it's going to be a little bit more tilted back. If it's a bit of a steeper angle, it's going to be a little bit flatter. This is for someone that is more worried about weight than anything else. These combo posts, compared to say a pivotal with a seat post attached to it, are generally going to be lighter. They're just as strong, however, they just don't offer you the adjustability. So if you're not too stressed about where your seat sits and you're just looking for the lightest possible option, these are generally going to be the way to go. Now that we've gone over it all, just going to briefly touch on the seat posts again, give you a little bit more of an up close look at those. So standard pivotal, stealth pivotal. Biggest differences between the two: standard pivotal is operated through the top of the seat, the stealth is operated through the bottom, so going in through this hole here. Then we touch onto the tripod seat post. Again, as we said, the two tabs here will slot into your seat, and then your bolt comes up through this front piece using the little black adapter to adjust your angle. And then lastly, we have the railed seat post. As we touched on, it adjusts the same way as a pivotal does. It does give you more adjustability by including a second plate, and it's going to suit anyone that's wanting to run a railed seat, which are unfortunately becoming a little bit harder to get your hands on. As always guys, if you have any questions about any of the products that you've seen today or any of the products listed on our website, please feel free to shoot us an email to help@luxbmx.com or get in touch with us via the socials. Always happy to help answer your questions. We'll see you in the next product video. Cheers.